Hi everyone, welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler. We are going to go right into it, and we've got a play from the New England game.
Yeah.
That a very interesting play. We talked about it in 5 questions about doubling Davante Adams and how other guys are going to kind of have to pick up the slack.
Right.
So interesting formation or interesting defense from the New England Patriots here. It's 3rd and 6 play, 34 seconds left in the first quarter. What are they doing here? This is...
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something about Bill Belichick. He can give, he'll give it away. Listen, we're going to, listen, you can
Nobody
have,
there. Yeah.
Who cares? We're better than you. I'm a scheme. You have to figure out who's coming, who's jumping out. You have to figure out who we're doubling. We're letting you know at this moment we're going to at least bring 5 people. And we think we can get to you before you find your open guy. It's a trade-off. And to me, what's frustrating about it, if you're a wide receiver, if you didn't dream, Tom, as a kid, to just get one-on-one and blitz, that's a dream.
Okay.
So you have to take advantage of these plays. But again, you know, Jamal, I mean, he's one of the best at blitz pickups, probably the best on the team. And the good thing about it is you have to figure out, again, who's coming and the timing and what's the route. But something you pointed out, at this moment, Aaron got about 7 seconds to either change something, move something, or move somebody.
Anyway.
So my thing is right here, whatever the play is called, the spacing is good. But when you got the middle that open, the difference between any offense and true West Coast is if this was maybe Brett Favre or Steve Young, they'd see this. Now, as you pointed out, sometimes these guys will come in and drop out.
Right.
That's fine.
And they had been doing that some.
They'll go a lion check, and you'll get 3 slants here and a slant backside, and we'll take our chances and try to hit a home run. But for some reason, whatever, the Packers keep the play on. Okay, that's fine. But now when the ball snaps, and we'll look at the picture in a second, now you got to get some spacing, and you got Jimmy Graham going across like this, and that gives the spacing that you need. So you can look at the first picture. That's the way it's set up.
Right.
And you got trips, and you got, you know, one single guy up top. So now you're still Aaron Rodgers. You don't have enough time if you want to audible because the time is running down.
Right, right. Okay, so back here, my pen's not.
I'd use this.
Working. So what the Patriots do really well here is that they bring this guy and 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 this guy. And what happens is instead of these two continuing to come, they drop back.
Yes.
And Davante Adams is running this route right into him. So they got him double teamed.
They thought they were going to. They thought Aaron was going to try to throw a slant here, and they were going to pick it off.
Right, right.
But Aaron was too smart for that.
So back to you. So what happens on this? Now, what happened? You can show it. Go ahead.
Well, when you get up in here, this guard, you know, the guard or the tackles, they just got to figure out who comes. So now, you know, you're the right tackle. The most dangerous is the guy coming to the quarterback. So you have to take him. Now you got a free runner. That free runner is that's Aaron's guy. But if you count the numbers, you got enough to pick him up, but you just don't know because these guys are in the box.
Right.
Now you're thinking, okay, this is what needs to happen. Cobb comes up here, runs a route here. Now, St. Brown is here, and he breaks to the 8.
Yeah.
But Aaron, you know, on his back foot, because he got a free guy running at him, he throws the ball out here. And that's what we call bad chemistry.
Right.
Because I'm sure you practiced this in practice.
Right, right.
I'm sure you have.
And let's go to the photos quick. And so what you see here is there's 32 bearing down on Rodgers. So he's got to make a split-second decision.
Yes.
Could try to throw it to Graham, but he's really covered. He's going to go for the home run and try to make them pay for.
Absolutely. And that's what you're supposed to do.
That's not a bad decision. Let's go to the next photo. So there you see Brown. Now, here's kind of what we figured. There's 2 things we figured. Why don't you talk about the Cobb, and I'll talk about St. Brown.
Yeah, the level of Cobb if you're looking inside and see it's a hot read, 32 going, you should cut that down a little bit. So the levels, they're all, Cobb should be right at maybe the 30, I mean, maybe I'll say the 40-yard line. He should be there. That would give St. Brown more space to either go either inside or outside.
Because later we saw a similar play, and that's what he did. He
yes.
cut it shorter.
He cut it shorter. Now, that gave Scantling more room to run an 8, and he was able to catch that for 51 yards.
Now, I think what Rodgers was upset with here was that I believe, just by looking at it, that he wanted St. Brown to take an outside route down there. So here you see him in the inside. But at the start of, when we watched it, at the start he made a move outside, and when he thought that maybe the outside was going to get cut off, he came back inside.
Okay.
And so if we go back to the board, if he would have stayed outside, you can show it.
Could they have like a line they want to stay, an imaginary line here?
Yeah.
Say if you had that and this is out of bounds. If you make a move and you stay out here, then that's where Aaron threw the ball.
Right.
But
I know. It's like, why is
I mean,
that?
you could come and throw a move. If I'm St. Brown, I'm running the 8 too, unless we already said, Aaron, give me a, touch me up. If it's a blitz, I'm taking the 8.
Yeah.
That's the chemistry they got to work out.
And you know what? They made an adjustment because the next time they faced this, Scantling ran
the
a
8,
post.
and that's what you want. And that's the kind of chemistry, if this is Jordan Nelson, it's a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, it really is, because Jordan's going to want to know, I want the ball here. They talk about that before the game. I mean, now, and real quick, the next time they had 2 and 2, Jimmy Graham was on this side, so it's 2 and 2 instead of trips. It's more spacing. Now, Cobb cut it a little shorter, and Scantling, like you said, came up to run and got it for 51 yards. That's the kind of stuff people say, young receivers or whatever, who do you put it on? Aaron has to get better chemistry with these guys to know if somebody blitz me, I got a free runner, I'm going to let this thing go down the middle. If there's nobody in the middle, if it's somebody in the middle, I'm throwing it outside. You got to run it under and get it.
Look at the final photo. If he does throw it to the post, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
If Scantling kept running down the field, he
Brown
would have had a chance at that catch.
Yeah, he probably would. If he'd have stayed on the numbers, he'd have faded out and caught it, and that would have been a touchdown too. But that's something you have to talk about,
Yeah, the problem is you have rules, right? And even though you might both see this open, the rule is I'm just guessing the rule is that he's supposed to just keep going straight, and so...
And that's, again,
I don't know.
Sterling Sharper and Brett had things that they would just do. Mark Tremere and Brett, if it was a blitz, they would just do it, and that's just a chemistry. It just takes a 5-minute conversation, really.
Yeah, and I think you're right. If that is Jordy Nelson, maybe he does throw it in the post.
Oh, yeah, because he knows that's where he likes it.
There, but he doesn't know that St. Brown's probably been told to go up straight, and he's thinking, okay, he's a rookie. That's what he's
Geronimo Ellison is not in there, so that's going to be 19 and 83. Once they get better chemistry, he has pretty good chemistry with Scantling.
Yeah.
He don't have good chemistry with 19.
Not
Once
yet.
that gets good, man, these guys are going to be great, because I'm telling you, they got great speed, the tall guys, and now Aaron can throw the 50-50 balls, and these guys will go up and get it, but you got to give them an opportunity.
We'll just see if it happens this year or not.
Oh, it will. It may happen this week.
All right,
Touchdown.
So now we're going to look at a Miami play. So the reason we took a look at this play is it's very similar, only this time we've got Miami here and we've got Houston up there. And this is really to flip to see how the two different teams handled a free rusher.
Yes.
Rodgers had a chance to make a huge play. In this one, well, we'll show you what happens. Anyway, so the big part of this is Kenny Stills goes in motion, and what happens here? They don't follow. 20 does not follow him, right? So what does that mean?
Well, the quarterback, for the basics, when in motion with him, well, it's probably some kind of a zone. If it's man, he'll go with him, and now you'll say, oh, okay, well, it should be enough people to block whatever they bring. Because remember, the safeties are still back here.
Right.
They're not up in the line like New England. Remember, New England had everybody up here.
Yep.
And you can see, and the corners were pretty much off.
Yeah.
So it looked like pretty much a basic fire zone.
20 started rotating over here, and 34 came to the middle. So you had, you know, sort of your cover 2 look.
Right.
And everybody's off the line of scrimmage. That tells you it's a zone 2.
And another problem, you got J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
You got J.J. Watt sitting here, and I think that has a lot to do with this.
Okay.
Because you got Drake, the back, he basically just came out here. Instead of standing in the backfield and chipping, they just put him out there. So now, when we were looking at the protection, you can see the center making calls, the guards making calls, and that kind of stuff.
Let's look at that
on the same page.
First photo. So they're actually had just made the protection calls, I think.
Right. Yeah, they're past that part.
Yeah, but they're looking. So there's any one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys who could rush there.
Right.
Okay.
And see, that's the thing about it. But if I'm a quarterback, I want to look at the safeties too. They'll give you an indicator.
Yeah.
If it's a fire zone or if it's a zero coverage or what we call casino, that means they're selling out. But here's the thing, though, Tom. It's kind of confusing because say for some reason we're going to slide the line to Watt.
Right.
And we still have Drake as well. Say in a perfect world they slide everybody this way. And for some reason 49 comes. The quarterback has enough time to run, because the receivers are going to run something like a corner route here, and you know, and this guy runs it out. But also, this guy can come inside too. It's like a two-way go. But they don't necessarily do that. The defensive end comes wide to give space for 49, and these guys stayed on here.
Right. So they come in, but 55 goes out.
Yep.
And 49 comes. So now we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 rushing.
Basically.
Right?
And you're going to see it. You're not going to believe this. You're going to see 3 guys over here trying to block Watt. And you're going to also see 3 guys trying to block the nose, and they're going to have a guy run free. And you go to the second picture. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
So you got 3 guys in the middle. You got 1 guy on one side, 1 guy on the other. And here comes 49. And this is exact same situation Rodgers found himself in.
Yep.
Free rusher. This guy's looking right. Osweiler's looking right at him. So he knows he's coming. He knows he's coming.
He got to react. He got to scramble. He got to you just can't turn the ball over.
Just throw it away.
Or just throw it away.
Right.
You'd rather get an intentional ground than a fumble and the guy picks it up and scores.
So we go back to the board. This guy's coming. Yeah. The only thing we thought he could have done if he wanted to throw a completion was this guy's kind of coming out here.
Yep.
He would have had to throw it out here way before the guy made the bend, which isn't out of the question.
Yeah, this won't get picked off. If he doesn't get it, throws it out of bounds, you survived it down. It was 2nd down.
Right.
It was 2nd and 10. Again, the problem with teams that, you know, and I know Philbin is playing his former team, but the philosophy may be different. He may know how these guys mess up these kind of, you know, protections. So an impeded scheme is based on this, you know, guys messing up these protections.
Right, and not really knowing. I mean, he's always scheming to get one guy free.
Absolutely. You want a free runner to go in and get the quarterback. Everybody else try to pick it up and score with it. I think they'll score on defense because they're going to confuse Osweiler with these kind of fronts.
And
you'll be able to get a sack and a fumble.
Yeah, and here's the result. First, you see that corner route we were talking about.
Yeah, he can make that throw.
You know, he has to get rid of it right now or before that even.
And he's going to take a hit.
Yeah, but instead he kind of freezes like a deer in headlights, and then we get this next down he goes, and if you look, the football's down at the bottom, and it has come out, and they return it for a touchdown.
And see, that's the thing, that when you're a losing team, hurts you. But if you block it correctly, you got some guys you can throw the ball to. And not to mention, you always have your check down. Because once Drake chips here, he was wide open, and you could just drop it down there and survive the down. It was 2nd down. You still got another down to go. That's the difference. And the last thing, the final thing, is the key is the safeties. You know, if these guys are back here, then you don't have the threat of this. You can take your time, go through your progression. It'll get picked up, and you can make the throw.
Right. And so really, I think the point of us showing this, two different ways to handle or how a team might get pressured. But for the Packers, this is how you can get to Osweiler with a four-man rush.
Absolutely.
You don't have to necessarily have all those guys that
right. You don't have to blitz. You can get them with that, just guys disguise, and any kind of movement, things like that happens.
Yep.
Yep.
So hopefully that gave you a look into what we'll see on Sunday.
Yep.
And so for that, I think we're going to wrap it up, right?
Yep. Yep.
We will see you after the Miami game.